Hi, I'm Ender Ithos.
I'm Shaleia. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas from AwakenIntimacy.net. So today we wanted to talk to you about two topics that everyone's been asking about recently. We keep getting all these questions from you guys, and we wanted to create a definitive video that will help you understand the difference between what it's like to be with your soulmate and what it's like to be with your twin flame. And also, involved in that is another question that's been coming to us quite a bit, and it's, how do you break up, or how do you leave someone that you love? So which one should we take first, Ms. Plant?
The twin one soulmate.
Okay,
so I guess I'll start. So Ender and I were talking about this topic as well today about...
So I want to interject. The question is, what is the difference between being with your twin flame and being with your soulmate? These are two different things.
Okay, well, that's a really huge topic that I could get into. I'm just going to do the Cole's Notes version. Someone was asking, they believe they're with their twin flame, but they're not sure if they are, and maybe they're a soulmate. But I just wanted to share briefly my experience of meeting a soulmate, a very close soulmate, and then meeting my twin flamer. I call him Twin Ray, Ender. And I guess when I first met the love of my life, and I call him that because he was my very first love ever. I was 18, and he was my first real boyfriend, first man I lost my virginity to, like the whole shebang. I thought we were going to get married, and you know, I felt very, if I didn't know what twin flames were at that time in my life, but if I knew what it was, I would have had him pegged for being that for me. So anyways, I was describing to Ender, you know, the difference between the moment that we met. When I first met Michael, I'll call him that. When I first met Michael, we were just like, it was like instant friends, instant recognition. It was at a college party, and we were like joined at the hip, and there was something very loving, warm, and kindred and deep between us. It was like meeting a friend for the first time in a very long time, like a very old friend. And I loved him. It was a very, it was a very awesome relationship. But it dissolved. We were young. We had to have more experiences. We parted ways. We weren't each other's, ultimate spiritual compliment.
Highest divine compliment.
Thank you. Highest divine compliment.
So I want to interject with a little quip here, that oftentimes people think soulmate is like, you know, the one and only, the final love of my life. But that may be true if it's your highest divine compliment in this lifetime. Or it may be that a soulmate, and this is what Shaleia is describing in this story, is someone who's meant to come into your life at a specific time and help you learn something, teach you a lesson, expand you deeper into love. So
so the difference between that is, so I explained to you my meeting with Michael, and the meeting that I had with Ender was much different. And I'll talk about the day that we first met physically in person in Sedona back, I don't know how long ago, but anyway. So something really deep inside of me when I saw him, and when we first physically connected, we hugged and held. It was like my soul was on fire. My kundalini was rising high and hot. I was shaking and trembling. Like I was having a huge physical, emotional, spiritual reaction. My mind went completely blank. I felt like, I don't know, like I literally felt like we were going to ascend off the planet. And in that moment, I was like shaking so hard. I was vibrating from the energy exchange and this love. Like, this wasn't just, you're an old friend, I love you very much, we have a long history and connection. This was like soul union realization moment where everything in my being knew that we were one, that we were one in a much deeper sense than just, we're all one God. It was like, no, we are literally, in essence, we are the same soul. And so I didn't have the rationality at that time. Like, I didn't know he was my twin. I felt like he could be. I was not allowed to have that information from spirit or from my guides to check in to see if he was my twin while we were online dating. But I just knew, like, it was such a different experience meeting him. I was just so, like, all encompassed, like, wow, this is something different. I've never felt these feelings before. I've never had this huge energetic connection before. And it was the look in each other's eyes. It was so indescribable to me. It was like, whoa, like, this is like home. This is something that's beyond the physical earth plane. So that is my experience. I don't know.
So these are some experiences that Shaleia is sharing that are emotional, not quite as tangible.
Oh, well,
so you may have an experience like this. You may have an experience like the soulmate's experience with your twin flame.
Yeah, true.
It's it varies from person to person. So Shaleia is recounting her experience with meeting me, her twin flame, and meeting Michael, her soulmate. So I'd like to share some tips or some kind of specific things that you might experience with a twin flame. And if you've got any ideas or other thoughts, throw them in. So one is this sort of, when we talk about a psychic connection, right? We think a lot of thoughts at the same time, finishing each other's sentences, right?
Yeah.
That's nothing that's like exclusive to twin flames, but for us in our experience, it was very, very heightened. Another unique thing is parallel experiences and parallel lessons.
Yeah.
With your soulmate, they'll be learning something totally different.
Possibly.
But with your twin ray, oftentimes you're learning the very same thing at the very same time in a very different way.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing for me in a twin flame union versus a soulmate union, I've been with soulmates too in my past, and they're wonderful and they're loving, and it's like your best friend forever that you're with, and it's just so happy and exciting, right? And you're gonna last forever. There's no reason to end this, but then ultimately you part ways.
Mm.
With the twin flame, that doesn't necessarily exist if you're fully aligned.
Mm.
And fully aligned with yourself and with Source, and not necessarily like with the relationship, right? So what I mean by that is, what I'm talking about is vision and purpose and mission.
That's ultimately how you know if you're with your twin. For me, part of it anyway, a big piece of it, is when it is so clear and obvious that you have a mission together, that his gifts, talents, and skills complement my gifts, talents, and skills, and they merge together as one, and boom, there's a vision, there's a mission, and it's so natural. It's so natural, and it's so powerful too. And we're doing a workshop on this, how to find your mission together. It's a 8-week.
It's the final workshop we're doing in a series of 8. The whole mission and vision. Jeez, what do we call it? We called it
Awakening to Your Highest Intimacy.
They have it here. Boom! Here's the ad for it. This is Finding Your Divine Mission Together. Thursday, February 19th, and Sunday, the 22nd. Shameless plug right here. We're so effing excited about this.
This is only if you're in Hilo, though. So if you're in Hilo or in Hawaii, you can come to our workshop.
Come check it out. It's only in presence.
Mm-hmm.
We're not recording it. But anyway, we're talking about finding your divine mission together. And in this workshop, we're going to talk about how to find your divine mission together with your partner, with your highest divine complement, whether you're with them now or not. And it's sort of this explosive conclusion of all this deep inner work we've done over the past 8 weeks.
Yeah. So if you have any comments or questions about the differences between soulmate and twin flame, feel free to message us. We did our best to.
So hang on. I guess I'm not ready to conclude it yet. I want to go a little bit more into the workshop. I hope you don't mind. Or not workshop.
It's just I want to keep each at 10 minutes. We're almost
at 10. I want to explore this idea of mission and vision a little bit deeper. We kind of spoke to it. I want to go deeper because this is the most important thing that's going to help them identify whether they're with their twin flame or they're with a soulmate.
Okay. That could be a separate video too.
All right. If you have another question,
we could talk a lot about this. So we're gonna. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But like, we could talk forever about this whole subject. I just wanted to kind of keep it short and light, and we'll go into it in another video because it could be very long-winded. So into our next question: how do I break up with somebody that I love? You know, how do I start cutting that connection to this person that I'm with, and I just don't want to be with him or her anymore? So this comes up a lot during the holidays. Relationship obstacles can be very amplified at this time, and some of us feel like we're just paying lip service to our partner through the holidays because it's really an inconvenient time to break up with someone sometimes, typically over the holidays. I know because I've done it. I've done it twice now around Valentine's Day, and it was like, okay, I'm lying. I'm going through Valentine's Day, and it's a lie. I don't even want to be with you. So it's all in the past. So there were some good suggestions that I heard on the Teal Tribe group and some Cosmic Twin Flame group. Anyway, saying about cord cutting and beginning to weaken that connection with your partner through cutting cords. Now you can do that, and that helps, especially if there's a lot of codependent behavior happening between both of you or one of you. But the best thing that I can say to break up with somebody, you know, if in or around the holidays or just in general, you got to learn the lessons first of the relationship, or at least have an understanding about what the lessons are. And there's an exercise that we teach and we'll be sharing in our workshops, and we will also, I think actually he did a video on this recently on the mirror exercise. Using that person as a mirror, you know, saying what is you don't like about them or what they did to you, and writing out all your upset, and then you switch the pronouns around and change it to me and I, so you're taking responsibility for what that person is mirroring in you. And then you can say, whoa, wow, for instance, how am I betraying myself in my life? Oh, well, I keep making promises to myself and I continue breaking them. Maybe that's why I keep experiencing betrayal from others. So what I'm trying to say is once that's clear within you, you're not going to attract that anymore, because even if you break up with the person, if you don't learn that lesson, you're going to continue attracting that same energy to you through another man. And I mean, I could write a book on this. Or woman, thank you, because I kept attracting the same type, the same energy over and over and over again, thinking, you know, oh, I just need a musician this time, or I just need an artist, or I just need someone who like is cool and will travel around, or someone who's like a hippie and or spiritual. And gosh darn it, you sure get what you ask. So as I started going a little deeper, I was like, wait, there's an underlying pattern here. I'm seeing there's a pattern. And that's when I started to address issues inside of myself so that I would no longer attract, men that weren't in my best and highest interest. And what was one of the catalysts for me was entering into my late 20s and being like, geez, I would really like to have a family, at least somewhere in my 30s. You know, I don't want to be 40 something and just getting my first kid. And so I'm like, okay, I need to make a change. What changes do I need to make in order to bring in the love that I desire to have? So this is a really key part. The next part about starting to end a relationship for me is starting to have clearer boundaries, you know, with the other person, creating more space in the relationship if you can, physical space, emotional space, just kind of start to, so you're not like together, and then, oh, by the way, I want to break up, boom. I mean, and you can do that. I guess I'm just thinking about the holiday season right now.
Setting strong and clear boundaries with your partner, and slowly creating more and more boundaries that feel good. Boundaries that you've wanted to put up anyway, but holding strong to those. Well, I don't like it when you go out with me and my friends to the movie theater. We need this time alone. Yeah.
So, to conclude this portion of the video, the question, I just want to say, because I've dated a lot of men in the past, and what finally came down to the breaking point for me, because sometimes I draw the relationship out to the bitter end, and then as I got older, it got easier and easier, so I'm like, I just don't want to waste my time. I don't want to go through all that turmoil and like leave myself open and vulnerable because I'd move in quickly with these men, or, you know, just something like that. So basically I took my head out of the sand. I looked around at reality. I stopped forcing a vision of who I wanted them to be or the potential who I saw them to be, and I'm like, I'm not going to marry potential. Someone said this recently. I'm not going to marry potential. I'm going to marry reality. And I look at my boyfriend and be like, this is not the reality I desire to marry. Sorry. You know, and it's not that I don't love them. I love them very much. I love them so much, and I love myself so much that I'm not going to allow us to go through this bullshit. And so that was the power that I needed to really start making changes in my life. And a powerful breakup line that I used in the past, and you're welcome.
Ding, 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 ding.
You're welcome to use this, you know, is, and first off, before I tell you this line, before you break up with someone, be very calm, relaxed, centered, and clear. Go for a swim. Go do yoga. Go for a walk. Do something so that you're not in front of them in an upset. Oh, I want to break up, and oh, you know, just trust me. Come from your place of clear power, because they're going to want to draw you back in, and they won't want you to break up with them, and they'll make any excuse or do anything to make you not break up with them. But be very clear and firm in your power, and be
write it down if you have to.
Write it down if you have to, but know that this is for the best and highest interest for all. And God would never want either of you to stay in a relationship that was blocking either of you from having a God-centered life. So free yourself and free them. So here's what I say. Here's my term. So I sit them down, and eventually I'd say something to
the breakup pro.
The breakup. I had to become, you know, that love is basically energy, right? Energy is everywhere. It's a scientific fact. You can word this any way you want, but love is an energy, and energy changes, energy transforms. And I just feel like our relationship has evolved to this different place that is more, say, like a friendship, or is leading us to different paths, something. But the fact is that it is energy that is leading you both in different ways. And it's not that you don't love that person anymore. It's just the fact that the energy of the love has changed, and you are honoring yourself in this and honoring them. So anyways, that is kind of the basic line that I would use. Maybe not right off the bat, but somewhere in that breakup conversation, I would just say something like that. Because the fact is, it's true. It was true for me that I still did love them, but I didn't love them like a lover should love them, and they deserve that. Just the energy has changed. So please know that there is somebody out there who loves you and who will love you so, so, so much. The type of love that you know that you deserve. And know that there's a person out there for your partner as well if you're feeling like it's time to dissolve the relationship. So thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you have any comments, thoughts, questions, don't hesitate to private message us or write in the comment box. I know this is kind of not an easy topic to talk about this time of the year, but it's a really important one as well. So we're also relationship coaches, twin flame coaches, love life coaches if you're single, and we help couples and individuals through these sorts of transitions, whether they're leaving a relationship or they're desiring to enter one or they are entered into one. We can take you to a much deeper place in yourself and in your relationships. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from awakenintimacy.net and myself, Ender, and the beautiful Shaleia Plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aloha.